following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Brother Mike, back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thank you for tuning in today. Today's Bible study, Roman Catholic Exorcisms. Got a very interesting story for you today. Call somebody, would you, and tell them the radio program's on. I wanted to point out some very interesting things about exorcisms. They're very popular now, and they're going to gain popularity significantly in the future. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We are downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Indian School Road, and just south of Osborne Road. On the website, we have 2 services, live services per week, every Thursday and Friday, 7 p.m., Arizona time. We're on Pacific time now. Preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance. Also on the website, you can see the rest of our ministry services. When you go there, please sign up for one of our free seminars. Please sign up for our teaching classes. Check out the radio archives. Hit the PayPal button again and send us a donation. By the way, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. We've been on the air now for 19 years, thanks to you. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. She'd love to list your house for sale. She loves working with Spirit-filled Christians, that's for sure. Thank you for all your prayers and all your support over the years. My email is mike@hardcorechristianity.com. Catholic exorcisms. I got an article here out of the Post that I thought was really interesting. It's about Monsignor Stephen Rossetti. He's kind of the number one exorcist in the Catholic Church in the United States. I thought you would find the article interesting. It gives a lot of spiritual insights that I find fascinating, and I'll explain it to you in just a second. Here's what the article said, quote, as Monsignor Stephen Rossetti watched the man in front of him, he saw his blue eyes turn yellow and the pupils shrink down to mere dots. They looked precisely like the eyes of a hissing snake. The Monsignor knew what it really was. The man's altered appearance convinced him for a fact that the man was possessed by a demon. Another time, a man's entire eyes turned jet black, according to Rossetti. This, quote, this doesn't usually happen, but when it does, it's very startling. It's obviously demonic possession. Battling demonic forces is a regular duty for Monsignor Rossetti, a Catholic priest who worked in 2 parishes in the United States. Now, a Monsignor, as you know, in Catholicism is like a supervisor priest, somebody who has a special designation of significant experience or knowledge. A Monsignor is, another rung or 2 up the ladder. It says he's a Catholic priest who worked in 2 parishes in the United States. His team has performed up to 20 exorcisms a week, liberating people and homes from what he calls demons and satanic evil. Now, the guy that wrote this article in the Post doesn't believe in deliverance. He's just simply saying, hey, this is what the guy told me. He doesn't necessarily personally buy it. The article goes on. It says, quote, the 70-year-old told the Post, exorcisms have grown exponentially in the past decade or so. The U.S., racked by discord and moral crisis, is demonically oppressed. No kidding, and he's 100% correct about that. Demons, demon infiltration, demon infection, demon possession, all of it is going to accelerate over the next few years like you never dreamed possible. The church is massively ignorant and is going to be caught flat-footed with this thing, but not if I have anything to say about it. Monsignor goes on to say, quote, I think this is going to get much worse before it gets better. That's for real. A licensed psychologist and research associate professor at the Catholic University of America, Rossetti tells of his 13 years of experiences. He wrote a new book. Here's the name of the book. The book is Diary of an American Exorcist, Demon Possession and Modern-Day Battle Against Ancient Evil, published by Sophia Press. That's his book about all of his remarkable experiences about demons and deliverance from demons. In this book, Rossetti alleges he has seen demons at work, doors banging, TVs turning on and off, dogs howling, victims communicating in ancient languages they never learned, spewing foreign objects like nuts and bolts out of their body. Quote, "These are stunning things that happen and are not humanly possible," he said. The Monsignor, who is also the president and founder of St. Michael's Center for Spiritual Renewal, a nonprofit Catholic organization that oversees the exorcisms, said he has not yet witnessed any victims levitate or spin their head like in the movie The Exorcist or in the movie The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. He firmly believes he has regularly witnessed diabolical evil. Recalling one exorcism, Rossetti writes of demons manifesting themselves as he began to pray. Quote, "They were wagging the woman's finger at me and shaking her head. I had been commanding the demons to leave, and their response was clear and emphatic. No, we're not coming out." The Monsignor moved closer and made a direct eye contact with the woman holding a crucifix 6 inches from her face, and he cried out in Latin, "Behold the cross of the Lord, take flight, you hostile powers," unquote. He sprinkled the woman with holy water, and she began to have spasms and go into seizures. Quote, "In an exorcism, the demons are engulfed in a holy torture that we believe is worse than the fires of hell. They were writhing in pain. Sometimes the demons cause him physical anguish." Rossetti then goes on in this article to explain that he gets attacked by demons a lot. Rossetti recalls in his book a case in which he started the prayers of liberation for a mildly demonic possessed woman a man of middle-aged. Quote, "My stomach became instantly nauseated. The feeling quickly spread to my head and the rest of my body. My whole body felt spiritually pummeled throughout the session." Then he says there was a young woman who reached out to him after an upside-down cross appeared burned into her shoulder. At the same time, her dad was receiving snarky text messages from demons. The texts were a typical demonic rant. Quote, "She belongs to us," and things like that. He said the messages just appeared on her phone. There was no evidence at all they were sent there. They verified the sender, and the sender had no record of it on their phone. They were supernatural text messages. That is a common thing, according to Rossetti. You get text messages from demons. They can mess with electronics, he said, TVs, lights, turning them off, different cell phones, and so on. The woman had more to worry about than texts from hell, though, he said. Quote, "As a child, the father dedicated her to Satan if someone is perverted enough to join a satanic cult. And it's not a stretch to imagine them offering their children to God." And of course, he goes on to describe this poor woman who had gotten massively infected by demons because of her dad. He basically destroyed her. Said it took 6 months to get all the demons out of this woman through a series of exorcisms. And then he goes on to explain that you use different things during exorcisms. You use crosses, handheld crosses. You use holy water. You use different statues. The big one is the rosary. You use the rosary for protection and use the rosary for obtaining the supernatural power from the Blessed Virgin Mary. And you go through different rituals. There's actually an exorcism manual in the Catholic Church, and only certain priests can be designated as exorcists. Not every priest can do an exorcism. And so the whole the system in Roman Catholicism is somewhat regimented, and they show procedures on how to get demons out of these people. For example, they have stoles they wear. In the prophetic movement, they call them prayer claws. And they use these items to weaken the demons. And then he makes a distinction in the article, which I thought was interesting. I got tired of reading it to you. Between mental illness and demonic possession. He separates those two. And the key to protection and everything is to use the rosary. He explains in the article how he gets attacked at night in sleep, and sometimes he has to get out of bed and fight back. And he grabs the rosaries and repeats it and so on. Well, I could continue on with the article, but I don't really want to. The problem is with all of these exorcisms, Islamic exorcisms, Catholic exorcisms, most Protestant exorcisms, they do not work. Generally speaking, they can get some demons out, but actually what's happening here is the spirits are tricking everybody. They're releasing certain spirits in the person's brain or their body, but the controllers don't come out. They stay there, and then later on, after the exorcism's over, they simply let this other spirits that got, quote, exorcised, they just simply let them back in. And the main problem is with all these Catholic exorcisms, the obvious problems with Islamic ones, is there's no repentance involved. Personal repentance of the individual is the key to deliverance. The key to being delivered and staying delivered involves two things. One, personal repentance. Two, renewing the mind. Those two things have to be part of deliverance, or you'll simply go through all these hieroglyphics like Catholic priests do. The people are never completely delivered. The demons come back. It's a washing machine, then into the dryer, then back to the washer. It's a routine. If you want to be delivered from spirits, whether they're in your body or whether they're oppressing you from the outside, the key to it all is personal repentance. Then you have to renew your mind. I have a miracle list that I will send to you for free. Simply send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. This miracle list will take you through mind renewal and deliverance step by step. Step by step. It's free. You send me an email, I will mail it out the day I get your email. You can be delivered and stay that way.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.